Getting your online catalog sorted is one of the easiest ways to grow your florist business and get more consistent, high quality orders. And when you get it right, you will see an increase in your average order value, see more consistent revenue every single week, and be more profitable. The 3-step blueprint I'm going to share with you in this episode is the exact framework that I've taught to hundreds of florists around the world. And it's the exact system that my clients use to consistently wake up to $500, $600, and $700 orders in their business. My mission with this one episode is to help you make an additional $50,000 in your florist business. And if you're like me and you're listening to that going like, Kathleen, that's outrageous. I love you for being one of the skeptical ones, but I just want to say, hear me out, grab a pen and paper because this framework works. And I want to walk you through 3 specific changes you can make to your online catalog this weekend that will help you generate an additional $1,000 in revenue every single week in your business. And the reason I am so passionate about helping you get your website and your digital marketing sorted is because it is the best way to leverage the compound effect. The compound effect essentially is you make some changes today and your business will benefit every single day that you are operating. And that's the beauty of digital marketing, and that's the beauty of getting your online catalog sorted, because when you follow this 3-step framework, you nail it, you see that increase in order value, you see more orders coming in. That's going to happen in your business week upon week upon week. So if you're a floral designer on a mission to work smarter and not harder, welcome to the greatest little corner of the internet. My name is Kathleen, and I am here to help floral designers make more money and run successful, high profit businesses. On this channel, we talk all about how to stand out online, attract dream clients, and master digital marketing specifically for florists. And this is one of those grab a pen and a piece of paper or your notes app on your phone or open your laptop or whatever you do in terms of like documenting the things that you've learned and what you're going to implement in your business. Because I'm going to walk you through the framework. I'm going to take you through it step by step. I'm going to give you some very real practical examples so that you could literally open your website interface right now, dive into your product library, make some changes, and you'll also be able to make a plan for what you're going to do to take your online catalog to the next level in the next 90 days. Because I want to get you to the part where you wake up every single day to high value dream orders and your inbox is overflowing with new client inquiries that you are so excited to connect with. And the reason that I call this my $50,000 strategy is because every new day as a floral designer, there's a whole new group of customers who are just about to go and find a florist, and they're on the hunt for you. So this is where the compound effect becomes so important in your business. Because you make these changes today, you will see an increase in your average order value immediately. You master your online catalog and nail your strategy, you will also start to see more orders come through, and you will get to the point where you will see an incremental $1,000 of revenue coming through your website every single week. And then that happens week after week after week. Now, we all know that there's no such thing as passive income when you're a floral designer, but this set it and forget it strategy, having your website doing the selling for you, getting your business to the place that more than 80% of your revenue is coming through your website is the secret to being a high profit florist. But I also know exactly what it's like to be like hunting high and low on YouTube and Google and being like, could somebody just give me a very like simple plan for me to follow? Preferably nothing that is too complicated, doesn't rely on any sort of fancy technology. It doesn't even involve a spreadsheet. And if it could be color coded, that would be spectacular. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to pull out the markers. We're going to do this in a totally analog format. And this process is perfect if you're a floral designer that has a website and you're like, I mean, I know it's good. It's bringing in some money, but Kathleen, it's not bringing in enough money. That, my friends, is the goal with this framework, because I want you to know exactly what to focus on so that every single order that comes in, you know you're going to be making money from. Every single order that comes in, you're excited to create. And I want you to experience that day after day after day. The first thing that you're going to do is a product audit. Now, you're probably like so many of my clients where you have an online catalog and you just keep adding to it, but you haven't taken the time in the last 90 days, 100 days, 10 years to actually look at it and critically evaluate the products that you're offering in your online catalog. So that is the best place to begin because it allows you to have a completely clean slate and look at this with a very fresh perspective. So what we're going to do is we're going to zoom out and we're going to take a 10,000 foot view. I want you to grab your favorite pen and just some paper. We're going to do this fully analog style. And along the top of the page, I want you to write out 7 different price points. So you're going to start with $80 on the left-hand side, and then over on the right-hand side, you're going to end with $270. And I've broken mine up so that it goes in $30 increments. So I've got 80, 120, 150, 180, 210, 240, 270. So that's going to be at the top of this table. Now, down the left-hand side, you're going to define 3 different color palettes. So you're going to have your whites, your pastels, and your brights. And then you just turn this into a cutie little table. And then the next thing you're going to do is you're just going to open up your online catalog. You're going to look at all of the products that you offer on your website. And I want you to look at your core product offering. So not what you're offering for funerals, not what you're offering for weddings, not what you're offering for events. This isn't anything special. We're not talking Valentine's Day, Mother's Day. This is like your core online offering. And I want you to start to map out on this table where each of your products sits. So for every white bouquet that's $80, you're just going to put an X in that box. For every bouquet that's pastel, $80, you're just going to put an X in that box. And you're going to go through that with every single product that's in your core catalog. And I will say, just pause this, go do that, and then come back. Now, what typically happens once you do this exercise is you see that 99% of your offering in your core catalog actually sits in that far left-hand column. So everything that's on your website right now, it's super duper normal. That if you do this mini little product audit first, you're going to be like, oh wait, okay, so if I divide everything into these 3 color palettes and I label them by price point, it's very normal when I'm working with florists that most of their online catalog sits on this far left-hand side, and there's nothing on anything beyond $120. It's completely normal. But this is where the opportunity lies. All of the white space that you see on your audit worksheet, this is where your revenue and this is where your high profit orders sit. So I want you to think about this whole matrix as like the big piece of orders that you're going to get in your business. And right now, everything is skewed very much on the left. So the framework that I'm going to walk you through is actually going to help you clean up and simplify the offer on the left-hand side, but it's also going to help you expand your offering because that's how you're going to increase your average order value, but it's also going to have a secondary effect in terms of increasing the volume of orders that you get. So no doubt you've probably heard me talk about the concept of price anchoring, and that is having more premium products on your website to make the more lower priced designs in your online catalog seem more appealing. So it's the simple act of having more products on your website that are closer to the 240, 270 mark. That means that more people are actually going to place more orders for products that aren't necessarily up at that price point, but it's simply going to encourage them to place an order. So it can feel a little bit counterintuitive in terms of a very simple way to increase volume, but it works because it's based on buyer psychology. Because what's happening right now in your online catalog is that your clients are just seeing a collection of the same thing. In this particular instance, they're going to be seeing 4 bouquets that are around the $80 price point. They're going to be seeing 4 bouquets that are just a mix of pastel around the $80 price point. And they're going to be seeing 4 bouquets that are classified as brights around the $80 price point. They don't really see the difference between these 4 X's. You and I see the difference because we'll be like, well, one is bright yellow and orange, and one is bright pink, and one is bright red and purple. Your clients are just like, I want something bright for $80. So at an absolute minimum, when you're thinking through the next iteration of your online catalog, I want to limit it to ideally just 1 per box. But if you're really stubborn, then you can stick to 2 because this is your business, so you can do whatever the crap you want. But limit yourself to 1 design per box, and that way you can start to fill out the entire table. Because at the end of the day, you can have an online catalog that simply has 1 product in every single one of these boxes. So you'll have 1 design that's bright and $80, but you'll also have a design that's bright and $270. And you're probably sitting there thinking, okay, great, Kathleen, this gives me a good structure, but how many products should I have in my online catalog? And that's where my 6x6 framework comes in. So the reason I call it my 6x6 framework is because your clients are driven to order flowers from 6 basic occasions: a new baby, a birthday, an anniversary, sympathy, celebration, get well soon. More than 80% of your online orders are going to come in response to one of those 6 specific occasions. So setting your online catalog up with those 6 specific occasions in mind and actually optimizing it for those 6 specific occasions is step 1. And then step 2, when you're going in and categorizing each of your products, assigning 6 products to each of those 6 categories. So when you're looking under new baby, you're going to start with having 6 designs. So that's why it's called the 6x6 framework. And 2 very functional notes. When you're setting up each category on your website, it doesn't have to be that you only offer 6 in that category, but instead of completely overwhelming your customers and your potential clients with too much choice, because too much choice leads to overwhelm, always leads to no sale. Instead of overwhelming them with too much choice, just start with your 6 and then have a button at the bottom that says shop the full catalog. That will then give them the option to be able to explore, categorize by price, categorize by color, however the functionality on your website works. But just giving them 6 to begin with is the perfect taster and the perfect way to check the box, because that's where the majority of your clients are going to be ordering from. And the other super functional thing is it doesn't mean that you need to have 6 times 6 different products. So you don't necessarily need to have 36 different designs in your online catalog, because we all know that that is like almost impossible to scale. Because teaching your team how to create those 36 designs 52 weeks of the year using a mix of different ingredients becomes a near possible assignment. And I say that out of personal experience. So what I will say is start with somewhere between 12 and 18 products in your online catalog. But before you jump to taking more photos, figuring out how to list them on your website, again, we're going to go back and do this analog first. And I find this process so helpful to do with pen and paper, because for me, the technology can become eye-crossing, mind-bendy, like brain sucking. So getting your catalog sorted first, almost to the point where you've got a very clear checklist and a very clear to-do list, I have found so incredibly helpful. Because then, as you get flowers into your shop, as you're working through a week in your business, you can make a plan to photograph and check off your list very specific designs. And this is super helpful, particularly for some of those premium and more spendy products, because you want to be able to repurpose and reuse and maximize your investment from the flowers that you got in from the grower and the wholesaler. So if you know that next Tuesday you're going to take a photo of a bright $270 bouquet, you plan ahead, and then you're able to have the product on hand. Taking the photo doesn't take a huge amount of time if you've planned ahead, and then you can repurpose those ingredients into an actual order that you might have in your shop on that day. So you really get to approach this with high profit thinking. So the way I will sit down and look at an online catalog is I will take this matrix and I will go, okay, I know the end goal is to have 6 products in 6 of the main categories. For birthdays and get well soon, it's super common to want something to be a little bit brighter. For sympathy, things will skew a little bit more pastel. I also know for new baby, there's still lots of desire for the traditional pink or the traditional purple and blue color palettes. And for most of us, our product categories and our designs are probably going to end up skewing. The more popular designs are going to be more white and more pastels, but still making sure that you have some brights in there. So I'm going to go back over to my 7x3 chart. I'm just going to mark out for myself 12 products. In the next step, I'm going to talk you through how to then expand this into a broader offering. And before you start going out there and taking photos and creating designs and just throwing new products up onto your website, going through this one step will give you so much clarity and such a specific to-do list that then makes building out the next version of your online catalog so much easier to do. And then the last step in the process is making sure that you're following that 30% pricing rule. So the guide that I love to use and that works really well when it comes to setting up your online catalog is making sure that every product that you're offering comes in 3 sizes. You might call it standard, premium, and deluxe. But essentially making sure that from that very first, from that smallest size that you're offering of that one design, the second size that you're offering is an additional 30% premium. And then in addition to that, the third size that you're offering offering for that one product is an additional 30% again. One of the biggest ways that we sabotage our own average order value is that we don't create enough of a price break between those three sizes. So let's say, for example, you're going to create this $150 white bouquet. When you set this up on your website, you're going to photograph the $150 white bouquet. And then when you set up your sizes, the standard size or the smaller size is going to be $150. Your premium is going to be a 30% increase in price. So that's $195. And then you're going to have the deluxe size, which is going to be an additional 30% on top of the premium size, which makes it $255. So you can already see with one product how many different price points you get to cover off. But this is where you get to take this strategy to the next level, because then when you're thinking about the next white bouquet that you're going to create, you're actually going to set it up so that its beginning price point is even higher than the largest of the bouquet that you just made. So you'll have one white bouquet on your website that starts at $150, and then you offer it a size at $195 and then another size at $255. The next white bouquet that you're going to put on your website is actually going to start at a price point that's even higher than $255. So you're going to start that product at something like $295, and then again you're going to follow that 30% pricing principle for the next two sizes that you offer. The way that your potential customers will evaluate your products in your online catalog is that yes, they will look at the photo, they will also look at the product name, but they'll look at the price point. So having two white bouquets side by side with two different photos and two different names and two significantly different price points makes it such an easier comparison for your clients, because they don't see the difference between an $80 white bouquet and an $84 white bouquet. They barely see the difference between an $80 white bouquet and a $90 white bouquet, but they will see the difference between a $150 white bouquet and a $300 white bouquet. And in their mind, that creates such a clear point of distinction, and it's so much easier when they have those points of comparison for them to make a decision. So following this structure and following this blueprint when you're setting up your online catalog will help you get more orders and increase your average order value, because you're actually making it easier for your clients to make a decision. So go through this 3-step blueprint, do this pen and paper exercise of auditing your existing online catalog, figuring out where the gaps are that you want to fill, and then reviewing that 30% pricing principle within your online catalog. You go through and you start to work through these changes, you're going to see an impact to your bottom line. You're going to see more online orders, you're going to see more consistent orders, and you're going to see an increase in your average order value. And once you get this strategy nailed, you're going to see more revenue coming into your business week after week after week. And if you're interested in learning more about this step-by-step process, I talk you through my entire online catalog strategy inside my Elevate marketing program. This is my step-by-step marketing plan for florists who want to get to consistent 10K weeks in their business. And I walk you through the exact process to follow to help you optimize your website, attract dream clients, and create more consistent orders in your business. So I'll leave the link below for more information on that program. But I hope that this framework is helpful. I know that you'll have taken heaps of notes. So go out there, make a plan, get to work, update your online catalog so that you can leverage the compound effect and start seeing more money come into your business. And as always, thank you so much for being here. If anything in this video has been helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to my flower family, be sure to hit subscribe. And I hope you have the most amazing week, and I'll see you again next week. Bye for now.